Hey, welcome to the semifinals of the Legacy Challenge. We are on the play against an unknown opponent, but a guy, he's called Kentaharu Hokori. I don't know, it's broken, yeah, I don't know who that guy is, but I don't know, just the name Kentaharu Yokohori, Hokori, whatever. That sounds super sneak and showish to me. And I went to the match thinking, oh my god, is this gonna be the end? Something on the back of my head associated his name with Sneak and Show. I don't know why. I think there's been a decent amount of Sneak and Show in the Japanese Legacy GPs, so maybe because of that. But anyway, this hand is quite good. It has acceleration into like the problematic turn 2 glimpse with the mana accelerator and cradle. It's always something that puts the opponent to the test, and that's what I like so much about hands like this. Here's the same message. Oh yeah, same thing as before. Just gonna get Dryad Arbor here. And then next turn we can Glimpse, and he either forces it, and then we'll eventually get Kratos Behemoth to resolve, hopefully, or he doesn't force it, and we at least draw like 1, 2, 3 cards for the turn. So no matter the outcome, we're in a really great spot. We might even just kill him with double Cradle on the turn afterwards. So the worst thing that could happen to us here is if he killed Dryad Arbor. That's why I always say, like, if you kill the turn 1 accelerator out of Elves, it's probably the biggest difference in all of the legacy decks. Like if Elves untaps on turn 2 with just a single mana and then plays a land, then it plays Visionary. Whereas had we got that one more point of mana, then we would go absolutely crazy and kill him on the third turn. So let's see. Oh, at least it took a Forkbolt. Like he totally respects our hand here. He's not like trying to set up for some tricky play next turn where he gets a 2-for-1. He already knows that this glimpse could be super devastating for him. He actually drew the Cradle, see? Had we played all of these guys, then we could have actually killed him the turn afterwards with double Cradle. But, unfortunately for us, we just have to play Heritage to it in order to make sure that Cradle makes mana on the next turn. Or, I mean, that's not even guaranteed. I just hope he plays like Young Pyromancer here. Brainstorm helps, but now he's more likely to remove the Heritage to it again, but black mana usually doesn't do it. Delver is okay. I'm still a bit scared of, like, Daze would be pretty good here. And he has Daze. No. I'm not going to use these sound effects. Something is wrong with them right now. The sound quality is really bad. I shouldn't attack here, yeah. I really like making these attacks, but since the opponent has seen the hand, and by the way, fuck Taxing Probe, I hate that card. I think if he hadn't seen our hand, I would have attacked here for the extra point of damage, but losing the Heritage to it would be really devastating. Delver fortunately doesn't flip. I mean, there's something to be said about Delver not actually being a 3-2 flying all the time, otherwise it would probably be banned. But that's super unfortunate for us. Like, losing the Heritage Druid here, but at least we get the Death Gem, which is one of the best possible draws. Like, a fetch land into Dryad Arbor would have even been better, I think. But this is still good enough. Especially since the opponent once again fails to have the Delver work. You know what they say, like, the 4th time your Delver doesn't blind flip, you have to, like, send it back to Wizard of the Coast to get a replacement. It's obviously broken. Nobody would like disagree with you if you told them that Delver was broken. It's like, no, it's literally broken. It doesn't work. Okay, now we're in trouble. Fortunately for us, he takes out Cradle. Like, he doesn't know about the second Cradle, but still, like, Cradle isn't producing any kind of mana. If he takes out Bayou, I think we lose this game. I'm pretty sure. Like, then we would just pass here. Instead, we get Lana Wives and another Cradle, and I'm playing it. I'm exposing it to Wasteland because I really need, like, to untap with a land next turn. And maybe even get another land drop. Delver doesn't flip for the 3rd time. Didn't even have Ponder? What happened there? Did Ponder shuffle, probably? Didn't shuffle with Ponder? Oh, and okay, so I guess he didn't have any kind of instant sorceries on top. Another Delver. 4th time's the charm, I guess. What is he doing? Oh, if you have to, like, if your opponent takes a lot of time, yeah, it's usually Anglerfish or Zombiefish. This is a great draw because pretty much any 1-1 elf would have been a great draw. I guess that's why we put them in the deck. Because now we can draw like 3 extra cards at least, which should once again bring us pretty close to hardcasting Behemoth next turn. or even win on this turn. Like, the Virtual Ranger was a great draw here. And here we just draw extra cards. I think there's a really decent chance that we win on this turn. Let's see. Also, actually going back to when the opponent didn't wasteland us, I think really would have made a world of difference. Like, we would have passed again, and he would have probably flipped 2 Delvers next turn and had a Gormak Angler. Yeah, had he wastelanded the Bayou, I think we would have been dead. It's a bit weird that he would wasteland the Cradle there. And yeah, this looks pretty overish, especially in the first game where they don't have mass removal. I'm just gonna let it play out like this. I mean, with double Nettle Sentinel, it's usually enough mana to Hakas Behemoth very quickly unless the Glimpse dries up, and he concedes in an interesting spot, at least for us, because we didn't know whether we'd had extra lands or extra creatures that we could play. But yeah, I think even if we have to pass the turn here and he flips the Delvers and he draws Force of Will, I think we still win this. So, oh yeah, let's jump right into game 2. How did I sideboard? I'm pretty sure I did my standard sideboarding against Grixis. Yeah, taking out all 3 natural orders and a Krata of Behemoth, the Reclamation Sage, and of all the cards I don't really want to take out, the one I kind of want to keep but have to take out because of like spacing, is the Nettle Sentinel. I bring in 3 Abrupt Decays, 2 Chokes, and the Ooze, which is also another really great card in the deck. It's not that great on offense because of the tokens, but it's still a great card to kind of recover from, like when you're behind, because you can suddenly turn off all the Deathrat Shamans and also some of the Delve shenanigans if it comes up. But it also like blocks the Zombie Fish and the tokens, so it creates board sets that are annoying for the Grixis Delver players, and they don't really have a lot of tools to actually get rid of the Ooze. Oh, this hand, have to ship it back. 2 pair, not good enough. Opponent keeps 7, and this hand is okay. It has half the best friends team, acceleration, and the Cradle. Once again, pretty much what I'm looking for. I mean, it wouldn't hurt if he had a Glimpse in a hand like this, or a Senate, or a Visionary, but there's always the draw step. And like I say, you tutor for a random card every turn, and if you put enough good cards into your deck, eventually you're gonna find something you really want. When I see a Brainstorm like this, I'm feeling good. Like, if they go turn 1 nothing, turn 2 first action of the game Brainstorm, I'm feeling like, okay, the hand might not be that good. And especially, even more importantly, they didn't use their mana on the first turn, and on the second turn they once again didn't use it like for anything that affects the board, except for the lightning bolt. So it's kind of tempo negative for them. Grims is a great draw here. I'm pretty sure I would just play the Misty Rainforest and yeah, Birchler Rangers. I was considering playing the Heritage Druid, but Birchler makes a lot more sense if I draw Nettle Sentinel next turn. And for some reason, Heritage Druid, like something happens to Heritage Druid. I think if I didn't have the Cradle, I might not have played the Birchler Rangers here, but I'm not sure. The thing is, if I get Dryad Arbor here and it dies at the end of turn and they had not played the Birchler Rangers, then it would be super awkward to go for the Glimpse, because, or like I literally couldn't go for the Glimpse. Whereas if I play this guy or these guys and lose the Dryad Arbor at end of turn and then I go for Glimpse and Cradle, then I can play Heritage Druid, tap these 2, play Wirebot Symbiote, and then I can draw... No, I can't draw anything after that to continue the Glimpse chain, unless I drew Quirion Ranger for the turn. Then I could Quirion Ranger untap. Yeah, then I could do more. But like by playing the Birchler Rangers here, I'm pretty much guaranteed to get at least 2 draws out of the Glimpse on the next turn, even if the Dryad Arbor dies. And if the Dryad Arbor survives, then I'm getting a really, really good Glimpse turn. Deathrite also is another great draw. I also really like Deathrite because right now our board was a little bit vulnerable to like something like, what's it called? Marsh Casualties, or even is it Staticaster? But now at least we have something that survives that. Ooze is also like pretty solid draw. It's, like I said, it's a card that's kind of hardish for them to deal with once it grows to a certain size. Kratov is a card that I'm not really happy to draw here. I mean, it can end the game on the next turn, but I think if I actually end up getting a next turn, it doesn't matter, because that would mean that they didn't have mass removal, and if they didn't have mass removal, then I will probably win either way. So Kratov is just like overkill for scenarios where you don't need it, and pointless in scenarios where you would need something. Turns out he didn't force a full the Glimpse. He apparently thought it wouldn't be good enough, but then ends up force winning the Symbiote, which I think makes sense, because Symbiote would guarantee another redraw. But yeah, he obviously got burned for not countering the Glimpse here. Playing Scavenging Ooze, and unfortunately just like 1 mana short of casting the Choke, but it doesn't really matter too much. We can still counter Deathfire Chamber activation if we want. Not that we really need to. We would probably still do it, but it's not like anything for 4 mana that's super scary that you couldn't already cast for 3 mana. Glimpse for life. Okay, so 3 mana. Okay, let me guess, because I don't remember. Could be Toxic Deluge if he has that. We are already post-board. What else could it be? Toxic Deluge. Could be Liliana of the Last Hope, but that wouldn't really do anything here. Could, of course, also just be a fetch land for Zombie Fish. That's not... Oh, Marsh Casualties. He fetched for a 2nd black, so it could be Marsh... Oh, it doesn't say in the chat which land he fetched for, but I'm pretty sure he fetched for this. So yeah, right now I'm thinking Marsh Casualties. And it is Marsh Casualties. I'm gonna add some mana to my mana pool. And like, I don't even need to grow the use right away. I'm just gonna float the mana, and then he passes, and then I will grow my guy. I don't need to reuse it right away because he already had a land drop for the turn, I'm pretty sure. Otherwise, I would have used it right away to play around him, like playing a Tropical Island post-board, and then I can't really use my ooze anymore. Post Marsh Casualties. Oh, by the way, see, that's what I meant. Like, I really wanted to draw this guy, because I felt like if they had like the mass removal, I needed some guys to stay back in the game. Whereas had I now untapped on a completely empty board, I would certainly feel behind. But right now I'm feeling okay. He got Scormorg Angler. I don't really care much about that. Scavenging Ooze is still too big. Too big to fail. Oh god, that's so cheesy. I wonder if they're ever gonna put a joke like that in the Fast and the Furious. Too big to fail. That's stupid. Oh, yeah, okay. Choke comes down. It's safe against Daze and Spell Pierce. Oh. He's still dazed. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Okay, so he's still dazed, so he gets back his Underground Sea, which is fine with me. Of course, that means that Scavenging Ooze would die to a Lightning Bolt now, but that's okay. Like, it's really hard to come up with a combination of cards that we would still lose to here. Gormak Angler can get in, but I'm not even sure if it wants to get in. And we're getting dangerously close to hardcasting Behemoth on the next turn. I'm pretty sure I'm not attacking with Ooze. Yeah, I think there was something about that if he trades his entire board, then he can kill the Ooze. I remember something about that. So let's see, it's a 3/3, and I can get it to 4, 5, 6, 7. And then he, yeah, okay, yeah, maybe I was too scared there. I'm pretty sure I don't attack with the Ooze. I do? Oh yeah, that was the interesting part. I decided against it and then still did it. Because, yeah, of course I'm attacking that. See, that's once again the mental blockade of, oh, what can happen, and oh, and then if he throws his entire board away and he kills the Ooze and he only untaps with a single volcanic island, what can he draw? And it's like, yeah, no. If he wants to throw his entire board away, be my guest. But I remember having that kind of thought, but fortunately for me, I arrived at the right conclusion. I was just like, oh, he can kill the Ooze if he really wants to. And then he still gets to survive with like a Delver or something. Actually with yeah, just a Delver. But now we can even hardcast Kratov on the next turn. Interesting, by the way. He activated Deathfight at the end of turn and I allowed him to do it. I didn't counter it because, aha, yeah. I like that. I guess I could have stopped that anyway on the next one with Dried Arbor. Or did I counter it? No, I allowed him to do it. Okay. Anyway, so we won our semifinals. Now we are through to the finals of the Legacy Challenge. We already locked up something like 200 in ticks that we could win. If we win the finals, we get something like, I don't know, 250 on top of the, I think, 500 player points that you get for making it to the finals. So yeah, make sure to tune in for the last round and see which deck we're up against there.